Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at something pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah.
The connection between muscle health, brain health, and how long we live,
Uh-huh.
especially as we get older.
Yeah.
Um, and so, you're probably thinking, well, I want to keep my mind sharp as I get older.
Right.
How does muscle fit into this?
Yeah. That's a good question.
So we've got an expert here who's going to help us unpack this.
Yeah. Happy to be here.
One of the first things that really stood out to me when I was looking at all this material was this idea that human babies are the only mammals
Uh-huh.
that are born with significant fat stores.
That's right. And it's not just any fat.
Yeah.
It's specifically designed to hold DHA,
Oh, wow.
an omega-3 fatty acid that's really important for brain development.
So it's not just like baby fat.
Yeah.
It's like brain fat.
Yeah, it's brain fuel.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to think about how like muscle and brain health are
Right.
connected right from the beginning.
Ours from the very start. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not just about
Yeah.
building biceps,
No, not at all.
right?
Think about it this way.
Okay.
Building muscle, it's not about aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
It's about function.
Uh-huh.
Like maintaining your strength and your mobility that's directly linked to how long and how well we live.
Right.
And that includes our cognitive health.
So it's about being able to like
Yeah.
do the things you love
Exactly.
as you get older.
Yeah, keep moving. Keep doing the things you enjoy.
Yeah. And this idea of a glucose sink,
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest, I didn't really know what that was.
Yeah, so think about your muscles like sponges.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
They're soaking up the excess glucose from your blood. So when your muscles are healthy, when they're active, they help to regulate your blood sugar levels.
Okay.
And that prevents those like big spikes and crashes that you can get.
So that's good for our brains,
It's really good for our brains.
right? Because like those big swings in blood sugar are linked to...
Yeah, they're linked to cognitive decline.
Got it.
Okay. So having those strong muscles, it's like a protective barrier for your brain.
Interesting. Okay. So for those of us who are thinking like, I don't have time to go to the gym every day,
Right.
what's like the minimum
Yeah.
we need to do?
That's where that idea of the minimum effective dose comes in.
Okay.
You don't have to spend hours and hours lifting weights.
Yeah.
Even just 2 or 3 sets per muscle group,
Okay.
twice a week can make a huge difference.
Wow. So it's about consistency more than
Exactly.
intensity.
Okay, cool.
And it doesn't have to be the gym.
Right, like what else?
Think about carrying groceries, taking the
Right.
stairs, even gardening.
Right, it all
It all counts.
adds up.
Yeah, the key is to challenge your muscles regularly.
This is where I thought things got really interesting.
Okay.
This study about London cab drivers
Oh, yeah.
who have to memorize like this
It's
crazy...
called the knowledge.
Yeah, it's this incredibly detailed map of all the streets in London.
And they actually found that the cab drivers who had mastered the knowledge.
They saw an actual increase in the size of their hippocampus.
Wait, so the hippocampus?
Yeah, that's the part of the brain.
For those of us who weren't paying attention in school.
Right. It's responsible for forming new memories and for spatial navigation.
So learning new skills, even challenging ones, can...
It can change the physical structure of your brain.
What?
It's amazing, isn't it?
That's like weightlifting for your brain.
Exactly. It shows that our brains are so adaptable
Wow.
and that challenging ourselves mentally can have a big impact on our cognitive health.
So it's not just physical exercise, it's mental exercise too.
Yeah, you got it.
But our expert didn't just stop at exercise and diet.
Right. There's more to it.
Right.
We have to look beyond just what we're eating and how we're moving.
Okay.
Stress, sleep, social interactions, these are all really important for brain health too.
It's all connected.
It really is.
So you can't just focus on
Nope.
one thing
It's the whole picture.
and expect to see the best results.
I got it.
Now, I know a lot of people listening are interested in plant-based diets.
Yeah.
And one question that always comes up is about omega-3 fatty acids.
Right. How do you get enough of those essential omega-3s?
Yeah, if you're not eating seafood.
Exactly.
So what's the answer?
Well, instead of just guessing, the best thing to do is to test your omega-3 levels,
Okay.
and then you can tailor your diet and your supplements based on the results.
So a data-driven approach
Exactly.
rather than just guessing.
Precisely.
Okay.
And when it comes to omega-3 specifically, there are some great algae-based supplements
Right.
that are available for people who don't eat seafood.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But we're just getting started. So after a quick break, we'll dive even deeper into the specifics of muscle building the role of protein and how all of this impacts your brain health.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
So, when we talk about muscle,
Yeah.
we're not just talking about size.
Right.
We're talking about function. You need strength to carry your groceries, to play with your kids, even to just get up from a chair.
And all of that gets even more important as we age.
Exactly. Maintaining muscle mass, it's like having a reserve tank of resilience.
Okay.
It helps you recover from injuries, helps you maintain your balance, and you can stay active longer.
So how did that tie back into brain health? Because I know we talked about blood sugar a little bit,
Right.
but is there more to it?
There's definitely more to it.
Okay.
Think of your muscles as a metabolic furnace.
Okay.
They're constantly burning calories and helping regulate your metabolism,
Okay.
which has a direct impact on your brain's energy supply.
Interesting.
So when your blood sugar is stable, your brain gets a nice, steady stream of fuel,
Okay.
which is really important for optimal cognitive function.
So even if you're eating all the right things,
Yeah.
the brain foods, if your muscles aren't really working efficiently, your brain might not be getting the full benefit.
That's a great way to put it. It's like having a high-performance engine but forgetting to put in the right fuel.
Yeah. Okay, so we know muscle is important.
Right.
But how do we actually build it and maintain it?
Yeah.
I'm guessing protein plays a role.
Protein is definitely key.
Okay.
It's the building block of muscle tissue.
Right.
But there's a lot of confusion out there about how much protein we actually need.
I feel like I hear that all the time. Like,
Yeah.
how much protein do we need? Do we need to be
Yeah.
chugging protein shakes and eating steak at every meal?
You don't have to go that far.
Okay.
It's not about massive quantities.
Mm-hmm.
It's about consistency and quality.
Okay.
Think of it like building a house. You need a steady supply of blocks, not a giant pile dumped all at once.
Okay, so consistent protein intake throughout the day.
Yeah.
But then how do we actually tell our muscles to grow and get stronger?
Right. Well, that's where exercise comes in.
Okay.
Resistance training is any activity that challenges your muscles to work harder than they're used to. And remember we talked about how it doesn't have to be the gym.
Right? Like carrying
Room?
heavy bags,
Huh?
climbing stairs, yard work, all that stuff.
It all adds up, but there's also a place for dedicated strength training,
Oh.
whether it's lifting weights, using resistance bands, or even just doing body weight exercises.
Okay.
The key is to provide a stimulus that tells your muscles to adapt and grow stronger.
So it's like sending a message to your body,
Yeah.
like, hey, I need these muscles
Exactly.
to be strong and ready for action.
It's an ongoing conversation between your brain and your body.
Interesting. Okay, so now that I know some people are going to be thinking about supplements,
Yeah.
are they necessary for brain health?
Well, it's always best to prioritize getting your nutrients from whole foods.
Okay.
But there are certain situations where supplements can be beneficial.
So like if you have a specific deficiency.
Right. Or a dietary restriction.
Okay, so like we talked about omega-3s.
Exactly. If you're not eating seafood regularly, an algae-based supplement could be a good option.
And we touched on vitamin B12.
Right. For people on plant-based diets, a B12 supplement is often recommended.
But the key is to...
Hiss. Don't guess.
Yeah.
Get your levels checked so you can make informed decisions.
That personalized approach seems to be like a
It's really important.
recurring theme here.
It's about working with your body, not against it.
Okay, so we talked a lot about muscle building and protein and even supplements.
Mm-hmm.
What are the other aspects of brain health?
Right. The things we don't always think about.
Right.
You're talking about sleep stress, social connection.
Yes, exactly.
Those are often overlooked, but they're absolutely essential.
Okay, so let's dive into those a little bit more.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we've been talking about how muscle health and brain health are connected,
Right.
and all these things like diet and exercise that play a role.
Yeah.
But I think there are a few other pieces to this puzzle
Mm-hmm.
that we should explore.
Yeah, you're talking about sleep stress and social interaction.
Exactly, those things that we don't always think about,
Right.
but they're so important.
Yeah. They're so crucial for our overall well-being.
Yeah.
And especially for our brain health.
So let's start with sleep. Why is it so important?
Well, sleep is when your brain does all of its essential maintenance work.
Okay.
It's clearing out toxins, consolidating memories, and basically preparing for the day ahead.
So it's not just about like
It's not just about quantity,
getting enough.
it's about quality too.
Right.
Think of a good night's sleep like hitting the reset button for your brain.
Okay.
It allows you to wake up feeling refreshed and focused,
Yeah.
ready to tackle new challenges.
And those challenges are what keep our brains
Exactly.
engaged and adaptable.
It's all connected.
Okay, so let's talk about stress. We all have it,
Right, it's a fact of life.
but chronic stress is really bad.
Chronic stress can really take a toll on your brain.
I think we all know that feeling of being overwhelmed and how it makes it hard to think
Absolutely.
clearly.
And on a physiological level, chronic stress can impair memory,
Oh, wow.
increase anxiety, and even shrink certain areas of the brain.
Oh, that's a little scary.
It is serious. But the good news is there are lots of effective ways to manage stress.
Okay.
Things like exercise mindfulness practices, spending time in nature.
So it's all about finding what works for you.
Exactly, and making it a part of your routine.
Okay, and then the last piece of this puzzle, social connection.
Yes, humans are social creatures.
Yeah.
And those connections aren't just about feeling good.
Right.
They actually have tangible benefits for our brains.
So it's not just about what's going on inside our heads.
Right.
It's about how we interact
It's about how we connect with the world around us.
with the world.
Yeah, strong social connections. They've actually been shown to protect against cognitive decline,
Wow.
reduce stress, and even boost your immunity.
That's amazing. So it's like having a support system for your brain.
Exactly.
It sounds like we've covered a lot today. We learned about the surprising connection between muscle health and brain health.
Yeah.
How important nutrition and exercise are.
Mm.
And all these other things like sleep and managing stress and our connections
Right.
with others, how those are critical for keeping our brains healthy as we age.
It's all about taking a holistic approach,
Okay.
recognizing that your brain doesn't exist in isolation.
Right.
It's part of this amazing interconnected system.
Yeah. So for our listeners who are feeling inspired,
Yeah.
what is one small thing they can do
Mm-hmm.
today
Mm-hmm.
to start building a better brain?
Well, we talked about how challenging your brain can actually lead to positive structural changes.
Right.
So what's one new skill you've been wanting to learn?
Okay.
Maybe it's a new language, a musical instrument, even a new recipe.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. Something that gets you out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to be a beginner.
Yeah,
The learning process, that's what's really beneficial for your brain.
that's a good reminder.
Remember, it's about the journey, not just the destination.
This has been a fascinating deep dive. I feel like we've learned so much
Me too.
about how to keep our brains healthy as we age.
Yeah. It's empowering to know we have more control than we think
Yeah,
when it comes to our cognitive well-being.
absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us. And until next time, keep those brains engaged and those muscles strong.